Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs number 130. Pettersson Symphony No. 9. It's number 8 in our series of Pettersson symphonies because, as I keep saying, number 1 was never finished. So we start with number 2. Anyway, Pettersson Symphony No. 9 is his longest symphony. It's, in some respects, his most difficult symphony because it's so long. It plays for between 70 and 75 minutes normally. It could be much longer, depending on the tempo of the interpretation. But it is a tough nut for just that reason, and for another reason. The other reason is that its thematic material consists primarily, there are other things, but primarily of chromatic scales. So it's just going like that. And it does that for at least the first 45 minutes. With, occasional breaks in the action. There is actually a program, in a sense, a really clear narrative to this symphony. However, it's the triumph of diatonic harmony. Because after about 45 minutes, normal triadic, we call normal triadic harmony, consonant, traditional harmony, starts to break in through the seams in the chromatic lava field. It springs up through the cracks. And as a result of that, the piece gradually becomes more and more consonant. And it ends with, really hopefully, actually, for Pettersson, it ends with an amen ending in complete contented tranquility, an F major plagal cadence, it's called, but it's amen, like that. Softly, yes, but after 75 minutes, you don't care. It's like Mahler's Ninth Symphony. It's, Bruckner's Ninth, one of those things where you have the quiet ending works perfectly well. But the other thing about this symphony is you realize how cleverly planned it is. Yes, it's terribly long and difficult to listen to, but the whole point that Pettersson is making is that he treats this intense working with chromatic, evil, difficult harmony to the point where it's almost intolerable. Almost intolerable. Not quite intolerable. For some people, it will be intolerable. And at that point, just when you want to run away screaming, the triadic harmony begins to take over. And so there's hope on the horizon. It really does get you through all 75 minutes. I have to say, the piece does not sound long when I listen to it. It really doesn't. Although it's when you're enduring the first 45 minutes or so, you think that it's never going to stop. But actually, looking back on it, it moves rather quickly. But for just this reason, because it's so difficult, you either have to put it all by itself on a program, in which case nobody will come to see it probably because they've never heard of it. And then when they do hear it, they will never come back. Or alternately, it has to go in the second half all by itself. There's no other way. It's like doing, something like Mahler's Fifth, which is about the same length. And it's just in that in-between crevasse between working perfectly fine with nothing else or needing something to go with it. And so I took the route that it needs something to go with it. And I really thought long and hard about what. And I've come to the conclusion that Mozart's 15th Piano Concerto is just the ticket. The reason is because it's as sunny and witty and diatonic, traditional harmonically, as the Pettersson is not. And I think it, first of all, it's nice to have a concerto. It's a piece everyone's going to love. It may bring someone to the concert. I keep pretending that these may be real concerts, but of course we know that they never will be. You just have to play them at home. But I really believe that having this wonderful example of wit and contentedness is a terrific setup for the Pettersson, because the Pettersson, of course, disrupts all that initially, but then returns to it. And so it's not as crazy as it sounds. It really isn't. And I also think this refreshing Mozartian amuse-bouche at the beginning of the program will really actually sort of energize people to help them get through the Pettersson. And it's not a difficult work. for the orchestra at all. And it's a small orchestra, just oboes and horns and strings. And so it's not going to exhaust everybody before the Pettersson, which has to be one of the most tiring pieces in the universe to play. So this program really, really works. And I did it with a great deal of thought and intention. And I'm very proud of how it came out because I listened to it a couple of times. And I find that the Pettersson Ninth works much better with the Mozart than without. At least that's what I think, and I hope you agree with me. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care.